So as today we are going to do something with this pantry. Just like the title says, this pantry is a mess. Now might be a long video because we're going to start fresh, guys. We are going to take all this stuff out. We're going to paint. We're going to install some shelvings and some cabinets. So there's a lot of things we're going to do in this video. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Stylers, welcome back. If this is your first time here, I'm Bree, and welcome to Modern Living with Bree, where I share DIYs, decorating, and organization to keep my modern home comfortable and beautiful, while providing ideas and inspiration for your home. Coming up for today, okay, everybody, I wanted you to look at the pantry and the state it is in now before we update it a little bit. We just wanted to straighten things out in here, paint it, because it is still the same color as we had it when we first moved in. And you can see this is a mess. Look at this. All of this stuff. If you remember, if you've been with me a long time, you will know that I did all this on a video, and I loved how it looked, and it functioned quite well. Except that I am going to do a different function in my pantry. I want it to also be carry other things. So I want to rearrange it and do some other things. Now this on the top shelf is not too bad, but that's not really how it should go. When we was having the kitchen done, everything got rearranged, and yeah, so anyway, as you can see, this is the state as of now. It is a mess. Everything just stuck up in here, and I can't stand it. I have to do something with this. And I love this little can thing here, so that will stay here, but we'll probably get rid of that chalk thing. And we have all kinds of stuff down here. There was glass canisters there I use for flour, sugar, things in that nature, snacks to go and stuff like that. I'm changing that up, so we won't be using that for that function. These little racks here, I'm thinking about getting rid of those too, because we won't be needing that, since I have my aluminum foil, wax paper, and things in that nature in a drawer. And then we have all this crap down here, and canisters and jars and baskets and whole lot of toilet paper. But yeah, eventually my goal is to have this completely done, have some cabinets in here, right along here. But it is small. It's about the size of an elevator shaft, basically. The size of an elevator. But yeah, this is what it looks like, everyone. So, yeah. So I'm going to take all this stuff out, get rid of all of this, and we're going to take everything out and paint. Take that down right there. That BK, my husband's so funny. He said that's Bridget's kitchen. I want to pass on some information for those who like these grip mats. I forgot what brand this is, but I purchased most of them from Bed Bath & Beyond. What I found is once you peel these grip mats up, and I already peeled it up, I just wanted to share with you guys what it looks like. You see these little, I think they're depression from the back of the mat, these little depression that are left behind, the dots from the back of these grip mats. And I guess depending on how heavy the container is, that it leaves these little raised rubber dots. Now, it's not a problem to get them up, but depending on I don't know why, it probably not the weight, actually, to tell you the truth, because this one right here didn't have a lot of weight on it, and it is worse than this one. And it's on both sides of the can sorter, and that is worse than this up here. But what I found is that it does come up if it's not too bad. If you use one of these nice strong scrapers, it scrapes right up. Just have to get a little elbow grease in here and get it up. Now I probably won't use that in here anymore. I probably just have my husband do a semi-gloss or a gloss sheen on here, so if it marks it up, I can easily wipe it off instead of using the max, because I was just using the max to protect it. But if we can get some gloss paint for the shelves, that will protect it, and all I have to do is wipe it up, because you have to really put some elbow grease to get this up. Now this is not so bad, but this one, I tried getting it up as best as I could, but this is as good as it get, and I'm really digging, and I don't want to dig into the wood, but this is it. It won't get rid of it. But the good thing is that it is flat. It's not raised anymore, so once he paints over it, it would just paint right over those little markings. So I just wanted you guys to know, if you're using those grip mats, this is what you may have if you decide to change up your shelf lining, or whatever the case may be, do something different or what have you. Don't be surprised if you get this same result. So that's all I wanted to tell you guys. Just a little FYI. So we're going to begin our project. Most of you have painted and prepared your walls and everything for painting, so I'm just going to go through this quickly. So we begin by taping the ceiling, because we're going to leave the ceiling white, and then we took off the side bends on each side of the chalkboard, and then took off the frame around the chalkboard. Then we plastered the holes where the bends were around the chalkboard, and we also plastered the holes where the hooks were. Next, we painted the first coat of white paint on the walls and on the shelves. As you can see, the paint has covered those black spots or circles from the shelf liner. Also, we installed the braces, or my husband installed the braces for the 3 shelves that would be added later. So we've done the second coat of paint, and now we're painting the borders. And then we're going to be adding the shelves. The shelves had already been painted, and he is installing those now. All right, everyone, it is done. All the shelves are in. Now I'll probably do another update, because I want to find some cabinets to go on this wall. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's on the right side of the pantry. So we have 3 shelves, and these are long shelves too. And then he painted, built shelves, and that is that. Okay, so if I don't put cabinets up here, I'll probably put some more shelves on this side, but for now I'm looking for some cabinets. So this is where we at so far. So here's all the food that came out of that little small cabinet. Food everywhere. I am going to do an inventory, check for expiration and overstock. I normally buy in bulk, but some of these are partially empty and need to be combined or either thrown away. Yay, our cabinets are here. I'm so excited. These cabinets will add extra storage from the kitchen, and they cost a little of nothing. They wasn't very expensive. I purchased them from Lowe's. So all the things that I purchased in this video for this project, I'll list in the comments, not the comments, in the description box below. It wasn't that much. I wanted to stay within a budget. So these cabinets was in that budget, and that was an extra bonus. The cabinets are installed. I am loving, loving, loving it. These are the new shelving that he installed and painted, and then here is the original shelving. So we did have a contractor come in to see if he can put drawers in here, because I want several drawers in here to store my potatoes and onions and things of that nature. He have not came back with a price yet, so I'm just going to continue storing my food back in here, and then when he comes with a price, we can go from there. I'm excited. So I am going to change these. I don't know if I'm going to change the handle or paint these. They just screwed in, so I might just paint them instead of just buying more handles. So I'll paint it a flat black. Okay, so that is the completed pantry. It is done. Okay, everybody, since I'm doing this pantry on a budget, I am going to reuse these bins here. I purchased these for my craft room about 10 years ago, never used it, and this came from Dollar Tree. I purchased about 4 of these. I think this was from Dollar Tree, maybe could have been from somebody else, but they were really, really cheap. And this right here, I purchased this one for my freezer and never used it. So we are going to use it in this pantry. But I don't think I like all of these different colors. You got white, black, and clear. So I am going to paint them. Alright, so we painted and installed the black handles back on. So they are looking nice. I love that. Breaks up that white very nicely. What else I done is I painted that bin. I said I was going to paint, so it's nice and black. And then we painted the basket here. So now we are going to work on our staple items, and here is where I'm putting the staple items, and on this shelf here and down on this shelf. put our dressing here. And more dressing. And now we're going to put our spaghetti sauce, Alfredo sauce, and I need to get some more peanut butter, and pickles, need to get some more of those. Okay, so the things that I would putting up here is more salad related. When we have salads, we like different toppings. So that's what I'm going to put up here. So we have some pecans. Go here. We have some croutons and some onion crisps thingies. And then we have some, let's see, cranberries. Oops. We have some cranberries here. Some sunflower seeds. And then lastly we have, these don't go into salads, but granola. I don't put granola in my salads, but I do put it in my yogurt. So, and that's that. Okay, so right below the bread box, my extracts here. And then we have powdered milk. We're going to put that here. I don't use that as much. Then we have baking powder. Here's where I'll put my baking chocolate. I have run out, so I need to run and get some of that. And then lastly, we have yeast. So that goes back there. So on this shelf, we are going to put our overstock. Now I'm storing my overstock differently. I have some buckets. They're used by preppers or anyone who wants to do long-term food storage. I thought these would be great to use for my overstock because if the items are not open, or even if they are open, it would keep it fresh longer with these nice little lids. These lids, they screw on top of the bucket, and I love that. I thought it was very different. So this is my first time ever using these buckets, but like I said, they screw on as you see here, and it's screwed on there pretty tightly, so it really keeps the food fresh. So this is a good idea, guys, if you have a small pantry and you would like to have a place to put overstock. This is a great idea to get these buckets. So if you're interested, I will list them in the description below. Are finally done, my friends. So if I have not mentioned in the beginning of the video the reason why I wanted to update my pantry, Everybody remember what happened 5 or so years ago when the grocery store shelves were bare, everybody running, trying to find water. It was a mess. And I said I was not going to be in that situation anymore. Was not prepared the way I would like to be prepared. And also, you know, it's great to have an emergency stock or a provisions for when you have situations like that, or when your lights go out because of storms, or a hurricane come and destroy your home, or basically destroy half of your home. You would like to have some kind of emergency provisions. So I decided that my family is not going to be in that situation. Try not to be in that situation. So I decided to do an update to my pantry so I can stock some of those emergency provisions. So we're going to do a tour, and we're going to get started on the first shelf. So on the top shelf, we have all of our paper products and utensils. So right here we have paper towels, and then we have napkins, we have plasticware, paper plates, and toilet paper rolls here. So we have a lot more room that we could stock up. So this is a working pantry, guys. And when I say about working pantry, I explain that to you as we come down to the food area. The second shelf has all the appliances that I use. We have a rice cooker there, blender, my air fryer, and then my crock pot over here. And those are the appliances, the small appliances I normally use on a regular basis. This is a working pantry, guys. You have 3 categories, I believe, when it comes to stocking your food. You have your regular pantry, then you have a working pantry, then you have a long-term pantry. So whichever those that you would like to do in your pantry, you can. I decided to do a working pantry. And basically what that is I stock my pantry to the fullest. That means that food is stocked from all the way to the edge of the shelf to all the way to the top of the under the next shelf. So this is not completely stocked. I still have a ways to go. But once everything gets stopped, what I would do is start to rotate my food. And a working pantry is a pantry that you actually eat from. You use it. It's not a long-term pantry that you just store away for when other those emergency times come, then you use that. But this is food that we use and we eat now. And basically what I would do is rotate my food. But if I use this spaghetti sauce, for instance, and that means I have one left. So when I go to the grocery store, I will probably buy 2 more spaghetti sauce. And then what would happen is I would bring this one forward, and then I would put those 2 new ones in the back. And that keeps me from not having expired food on my pantry. And it also makes sure that I am using fresh stock each time I cook. The system that I like is a working pantry. So yeah. So just in case you guys are interested, you don't have a large pantry, but you have a small one, and you still like it to be stocked with your emergency provisions plus your daily food, that's how you can do it for a working pantry. You can still have all the foods you eat and stock to the fullest, but you will rotate. And that'll keep your pantry up to date, and you don't have to worry about expired food. I hope that's not confusing. But you guys can always look it up online to find out how to go about doing a working pantry. So like right here on this shelf here, all of my jars and everything, we have our dressing. We have, this is my husband's dressing over here. This is my dressing, spaghetti sauce. We have our Alfredo, some peanut butter, and then our pickles, all of our flour and oatmeal and sugar and cornmeal here. This is our bread box, and then right up here is all the toppings for my yogurt or salads. So that's what we have on this side of the wall. And then right down here we have ingredients, I guess you could say, those things that you add to a recipe, I guess. So right here is my Lipton onion seasonings package, and I use that in all kinds of recipes. Here's all of my seasonings, my gravies. Right down here are my pastas. We have our rigatoni, our macaroni, our twisted one, I think that's called fusilli, and then we have our spaghetti, and that's on that shelf. Here is all of our canned items that I use in recipes. We have our tomato base here. We have the soups that I add in my recipes, like your mushroom soups, your chicken, cream of celery. We have our milk that we use for what is it, jerk chicken or stuff like that. And then we have an extra section here that I'll just put soups there. And then right here we have our baking goods. We have powdered milk, baking powder, chocolate chips, which I need to put in there. It's empty. Yeast and our extracts. And then right out here we have our vegetables. That's our potatoes and onions. So that's what's on this shelf. The last shelf is all of our condiments. So we have everything here from broth to taco sauce. So here's all of our chicken broth, beef broth, and vegetable broth. Ketchup and mustard. In this space here is supposed to be mayonnaise, and I can't remember what I had in that space. I don't know. I can't remember. And then we have our pancake syrup, hot sauce, all of our vinegars. That's our white vinegar, our apple cider vinegar. This is our balsamic, and we have red wine vinegar back there. And that is our cooking oils. And right back there is all of our sauces, like A1 sauce, 57 sauce, soy sauce, Worcestershire. So now we're on the floor. So in these containers, these are 5-gallon food containers, and I am storing tap water in here. And basically, if it floods here, it causes sewage problems and a backup sewage or anything like that. So this is about 5, 10, 15, 20 gallons of water that I have here that's on tap. And I can use this to cook with. I can use this to wash my body with, or or I can use this for anything that we need water to do those functions. So that keeps from us using our drinking water. Okay, so these are my drinking water. These are 1-gallon bottles, and as you can see, it's empty here, so we need to buy some more. But before we get to that, right back there, I guess you can see a little red color back there. Those are plastic cups, and I got those cups so if the sewage is backed up or if the water is cut off for whatever reason, we don't have to wash dishes. We can use those cups and the paper plates and just throw them away. We don't have to worry about washing dishes. But this is for our drinking. I have other drinking water that I will share with you, but this is for 1-gallon drinking water for emergencies. Now, I do use these to keep them from expiring. Water do expire when you talk about spring water. Tap water is fine, but spring water, the ones that you buy in these bottles, they do get stale. So I do have dates on these, and it lets me know that I need to use this one and then replace it with the other one, just like I do with the food. It's on a rotating system. Okay, so here I did share in the video on what these buckets are. There are long-term storage buckets. I got this idea for a prepper channel, and they use these to store the long-term foods like rice and beans, lentils and flours and sugar. And basically they use Mylar bags and put all those items in there and then store it in the buckets so bugs and stuff won't get to it. When you have a basement or something like that, you can store them in your basement. Since we don't have a basement, we don't have a bug problem here, so I don't use it for that, but I do use it for my overstock of items. So we have our spices, and then we have our rice and pasta, and then we have our baking and oats, and all of those things are unopened packages that are overstock. So I have a place to replenish if I need to. Okay, so the shelf above the buckets are all of my side dishes. So these are sides that I use for my meal planning. So we have tacos. As you see, we only have one, so I have several I need to buy. We have our Uncle Ben's ready rice. There's several flavors here. It's rice pilaf, jasmine, creamy 4 shells, and these are all cooked inside these bags here. There's such a convenience. You don't have to cook it. You just warm it up in a microwave, and it's a great idea even for emergency stock. So I love those. Here I have my pasta roni, and then back there is my pasta salads. So we have different pasta ronis here and salads. Here are my boxes of potatoes. So we have different flavors here: scallop, loaded, mashed sweet potatoes, and so on. And then we have our rice. We have our yellow rice when we have taco days, or we want yellow rice with our beef stew or something like that. We have our different flavored rice here. And then my husband loved this cornbread, the Jiffy cornbread. So as you can see, we still have plenty of room, even stacked on top of each other, to add more. And then we have our jars. These are large jars. They're about, what is our, 1 gallon, I think it is. Not quite sure. But these are our jars of beans and lentils and rice. So we have our kidney beans. We have small red beans back there, our northern beans and black beans. And then we have lentils there. And this is our rice. So that's what's on this shelf. So if you haven't noticed, there my foods are in zones, I guess you can say. I love working in zones when I do my pantry. And we have, like I said, these are my jars, my staple items that I keep on stock no matter what. I always have these. This here are my seasonings and ingredients and stuff like that for my cooking and baking. And down here is my condiments and overstock and my sides. So that's how we do that, everyone. So right over here in this corner we have a thermostat, and then right on the side is where my husband keeps his phone. So we have a phone charger that I installed on the side of the cabinet, and all he has to do is charge his phone here. And then right next to that we have our emergency fire blanket. And under the cabinets we have our bottled water. And it goes all the way up, but it stops because we're getting low. So basically what we do, we pull from the bottom here, and then it just go down like a vending machine. Okay, so we're going to start on our cabinets now. We're going to start on this one first. This is our emergency food cabinet if we have to leave the house. There's about 2 weeks worth of food in here, and all the food is in here is ready-made. So that means that you don't have to cook it if you don't need to. All you need to do is add water if you want. So here is our breakfast, and here is our lunch. Okay, so we have grits, we have oatmeal, we have oodles and noodles back there, we have soup. And on the second shelf is all the meat that we could go with breakfast all the meat that could go with breakfast and dinner. We also have the instant coffee here for my husband. Those are meatballs. Those are chicken, chopped up chicken there you can make sandwich with, or have it with breakfast or dinner. This is corned beef. That's ham. I don't eat pork, so that's for my husband. And that's a beef, ground beef right there. So as you see, I still have a lot of room left, but this is about 2 weeks worth of food. I think if everything was stocked up to the gills, we could get about a month in here of emergency ready-made food. Okay, so on the third shelf is for dinner. We have our ready-made rice up there. We have our ready-made rice and noodles, and then we have the beans. So if we had to, we could eat it right out the package, guys. Pop up a can and scoop it up with your fork. Shelf right here is something that I am experimenting with. I'm doing meals in the jar with freeze-dried food. Right here at the top is my ingredients that I use all the time in my freeze-dried meals. So I think it's carrots, bell pepper mix, diced onions, things in that nature. And all of that is freeze-dried. Here are the meals that I've created. So there's about 12 meals here, and each row is a different meal. So let's see what we have. This is the creamy lasagna tortellini soup. This is the taco twist, and this is the curry chicken and rice. All you have to do is add water, or if we have to leave our house, we could just grab a jar or 3 jars. And I still have room because I want to fill all this up with meals in a jar. Right down here is all of our snacks. So we have crackers and we have chips here. We have sandwich crackers here. Then we have cookies, cakes, whatever. And here's my cocoa. So that is it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the pantry makeover and my food stock, my working food pantry. And I hope you guys receive some ideas and inspiration how you can create your own working pantry or your own long-term pantry if you want, or whichever pantry you like. I hope these give you some tips and ideas of how you can create that. So I see you guys on the next video. You made it to the end of the video, so you must like what you see. Why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the channel? It doesn't cost a thing, and I love to have you part of the Bree Style family. Also, click the notification bell twice so you'll be notified when I upload. I see you on the next one. Smooches!